So one thing you have to remember is that online and offline sales are really two sides of the same coin, right? It's just two different opportunities for consumers to purchase from you. So if you are an offline or a retail store, you really need to be considering the fact that you need to have an online store as well. That's just another opportunity to sell. Now, if you are online only, you may also want to be thinking about a retail location. Maybe your products will benefit from that. Maybe your customers will benefit from that. So while we're going through this conversation, I'm not saying that one is better or better than the other. What we're talking about is how do offline retailers compete with the online retailers, compete with Amazon, compete with companies like that. That's what we're going to dive into. So first things first, people need to be able to find you. So the very first thing you have to do as an offline retailer or as a brick and mortar store is make sure that you are listed effectively in all the maps listings that you can be in. Google Maps being the most important one. Now Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze, all of that is incredibly important to make sure that when people are looking for you because they physically want to visit your location, they can find you. This is absolutely your first step. And the next thing you want to focus on is digital marketing. Now this may seem like, well, now we're immediately jumping into talking about e-commerce, right? And that's not really the case. There's a lot of digital aspects of marketing that you can use to promote your retail store to make sure that when people are searching for you or are searching for a product that you offer, you show up. You know, we can talk about things like Waze and using Waze marketing so that when people are searching or they're trying to find a place to go, they're looking at their maps listings, that you show up and your banner shows up there to drive people to your store. Another thing that we can talk about is digital billboards. Incredibly valuable, especially in high commuter or high traffic areas, because it's a great way to start to get that brand recognition. And brand recognition is incredibly, incredibly important, especially because at that time, someone's not really going to go through and search while they're in the middle of the traffic. Oh, I see this billboard and I see this website, I should check it out. But what they will do is when they get to the office or they get home, they're going to search for that product or service or something that they were looking for. If your ad shows up at that point, again with your brand name, all that is just more indication and more of a reminder, hey, I saw that logo earlier today, or I saw that brand earlier today. They're here local, I can just pick it up tomorrow on my way to work or on my way home, something like that. Maybe it's the weekend. Now, all these things kind of add up and build into this brand awareness of that you are local and easy to access. So your digital marketing is incredibly important. Another side of this would be to offer free local pickup. Now, especially on your website, you can set this up where if somebody in your area wants to buy something at their own convenience, at midnight on a Saturday, they can, and they can select local pickup and then just come in tomorrow and grab it. This is another way that you can start to compete with Amazon that has 2-day or sometimes 1-day shipping. They can just get it tomorrow at their own convenience. So start looking for opportunities like that. Top of mind awareness, using this digital marketing to make sure that when people are searching, they're finding you and giving them easy, convenient opportunities to pick up what they need and physically visit your store. Another thing you want to focus on is emphasizing the actual experience. A lot of retail stores, brick and mortar stores, have an experience that comes along with them. Maybe you've been in the community for years. Maybe there's just something unique about your space or about where you're located. A lot of places you're not really going to be able to compete with the Targets and the Walmarts and things like that because that's just a level of convenience that is essentially unmatched, right? They have to go to the store, they got to get their groceries, and they'll pick up X, Y, and Z while they're there. That's why it's a large-scale convenience store or a supermarket. But for a lot of mom and pops or brick and mortars like this, you're not really the convenient location or the convenient store. That's not a part of it. So lean into the fact that you are a destination and create this destination and this experience around visiting your store. What is something that they can experience about visiting you that they can't experience on a website? Maybe it's this white glove, white touch service. Maybe it's this high concierge kind of experience. Maybe it's the fact that they can come in and actually try the clothes on, or they can test the makeup or something like that. Things they can't do online. No opportunity to do online, and something they probably can't do at one of the big box stores that you may be competing with. So by finding those little things that make it important and make it valuable for someone to leave the beaten path and come to see you is a great way to set yourself apart. Something else you need to consider is being incredibly involved in the local economy and just this local environment that you've created around yourself. Think about it like this. when you're buying something online, a lot of times you don't even know what state that product is coming from. You know, it's out of town, out of state, out of mind, right? That money leaves your community and it doesn't come back. When money is spent in the community, it turns an average of 7 to 8 times before leaving the community. That's additional income, that's tax revenue for the town or the state that you're in. That's just additional income for businesses, for families, for homeowners, you know, for schools, for teachers, all of this. Be involved in the local community. That's a great way to start to build this reputation of, hey, we're here for you, we're here year-round, we're here all the time, and we employ people that work in the same neighborhood you live in, right? If you're buying from a website or your customers are going and buying online, they're not supporting local jobs. So this is definitely something you can lean into. You know, when you shop small and shop local, you are supporting the local economy and you're supporting people going through school and you're supporting families and you're supporting this community. But one of the greatest ways to ensure that your customers believe that is if you yourself are involved in the community. You have to be involved as a business and as a business owner. You have to be the name, you have to be the face and kind of lead that charge of we're here, we're in the neighborhood, and we're about the neighborhood. You know, support your nonprofits, support school functions, support the arts and sports and whatever's important to your neighborhood and your kind of sphere of influence here. By doing that, it helps to build this neighborly feeling of, I could get this online, you know, I could wait and just, you know, buy it later, or I could grab it at the, you know, the big box store down the road, but it makes more sense to do it here. I get the great experience, right? I get to have an experience in a store that I don't get to have somewhere else. I get to support my local economy. I get to support my local business owners. I get to shop small and shop local. And these are all things that tug at consumers' heartstrings and help you grow your business. You know, I kind of want to end with this. And I love this because to me, it's just an incredible case study. Amazon has opened brick and mortar stores. Amazon, which started online and online only and really kind of created this e-commerce world that we live in today, has understood and is starting to realize that consumers demand an experience that they cannot get online. So this is your opportunity as a retail or a brick and mortar store owner. This is your opportunity to start to set that standard. If Amazon is realizing it and they are starting to create brick and mortar stores, they're understanding the fact that an experience is necessary. Not just because somebody wants a convenient place to return something that they bought online, it didn't work for them. Not just because they're looking for that ultimate experience of, well, I didn't like it, I just want to pass it off, or I want to touch the fabric first, or something like that. But people are looking for a meaningful place to go and connect. And they don't just want to connect with the product, but they want to connect with you as well. So consider that as you're building out this store, you're building out this experience, you're building out your digital online presence, your website, because you need that as well. As you're building all this, consider, what am I truly building here? What kind of experience can I create that my consumer cannot get anywhere else? And maybe it starts with you. Maybe it's not the brand or the logo or the location. Maybe it starts with you and your passion, your excitement that you are able to translate into your team and your employees. And that's what keeps your customers excited and coming back. And the product and then the experience and the service and everything that they receive after that is just the cherry on top. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've got other tips or other suggestions on how to compete as a retail store in an online world, we'd love to hear them. Please be sure to like, share, and comment. Subscribe to the channel. We love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much, and happy marketing.